appreciated. Now, hello everybody. In today's video, I am going to be explaining where I have been the last two weeks. Because obviously I haven't been posting, and I just want to kind of give a whole story time of everything that has happened while I have been gone. The lighting's a little weird. But first, let's put on some lip gloss like always. This is Gel Online by Erin's brand new lip gloss for her fall themed drop. This is, I'm pretty sure it's like cinnamon pumpkin spice. It smells delicious, like heavenly. My next video is going to be all about that, so we'll get there. But I love this new lip gloss from her. Use my code MaddieLee ASMR for 15% off. But as some of you guys may have seen, I did post on my YouTube community, and I told you all that I had mono and that I was sick and I couldn't record. So let's just get in. My stomach just growled. Let's just get into the story time. I do have a bunch of kind of just triggers here to make sounds with while I talk. Alright, so let's begin. I posted a video repeating my intro video. That was my last video I posted. I'm pretty sure that was on Sunday, last Sunday, so it has been exactly 2 weeks since I've posted. But that Monday after, started feeling very sicky, and my throat started to, feel a little bit more than just a sore throat. It was like, oh crap, my tonsils are inflamed. Do I have strep type of question? So, I started to notice this, and I was like, I'm not gonna go to classes today. I'm gonna go get a doctor's appointment. So I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, I feel really sick. Like, if I have strep, can you come pick me up from school? And I go call the Health and Wellness Center then, and I'm like, hello, can I have an appointment? And they're like, okay, well, we can't test you for strep until we test you for COVID. So I am like, okay, I'll get tested for COVID. Obviously, of course, I'm gonna, get tested for COVID. And I get my appointment for like an hour later. I go to the Health and Wellness Center. I get my COVID test. And I get there, I'm like, do you know that I'm here because I think I have strep? Like, I'm not just here for a COVID test. Like, I'm here to, get my throat checked. And she's like, no, nobody wrote that down. I was like, okay, well, I'm here to get my throat checked. She's like, okay, well, your COVID test is negative. I'm like, okay, can you look at my throat? She looks at my throat. She goes, yeah, I don't think that's anything. Here's some cold medicine. Just keep an eye on it. You'll probably be fine. I was like, okay. So I walk out of there. I'm crying. I call my mom. I'm like hysterically crying. I'm like, Mom, they told me it was nothing, but I feel terrible. Like, I don't want to stay here. I want to come home. Can you please come get me? She's like, just make some tea and sleep tonight. Like, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I was like, no, come get me. I feel so bad. I'm like walking down my campus, like tears streaming down my face on the phone with my mom. And I'm like, God, everyone probably thinks I have COVID. I just got a negative test though. But I get back to my apartment and I start feeling worse. I'm like, gosh, I'm so tired. My head hurts. My throat hurts. I feel terrible. My mom picks me up, drives me home. I get home that was like, mono, because I've like heard, you know, like I never had it, and I was like, I don't want mono, because, you know, all those people that I've heard about mono, it's like lasts forever, it sucks, and like, I don't want mono, like, please give me strep. So she's like, I look at her, I'm like, do you think I could actually have mono? She was like, yeah, and I was like, subscribe, you know what I mean? She was like, yeah, okay. So my strep test, lo and behold, guess what comes back negative. Wow. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, so we get my blood drawn, we get tested for mono and everything, and the next day we get a phone call. I'm like laying in bed, like dying. They're like, yeah, you have mono. I'm like, no. But they're like, okay, you can't, you know, do physical activity for 4 to 6 weeks. You gotta relax. You gotta, like, you know, just sleep it off. Like, and they give me prednisone, or they don't give me prednisone yet. 2 days later, I'm like, so sick. They're like, okay, we'll give you prednisone. I'm like, okay. So that night, I'm like, this is like, so I went home on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, I start taking my prednisone, and that night I wake up in the middle of the night, like, absolutely in pain. I'm like, okay, I have to take my prednisone. This feels terrible. Like, I'm not sleeping because it hurts so bad. I can't drink water. I can barely eat because my throat hurts so bad. I'm like, this can't be normal. Like, is this really what mono's like? Like, this sucks. And they're like, yeah, you're like, this is fine. This is what mono is. We'll give you prednisone. So I'm taking this medicine. Prednisone is anti-inflammatory medication. I'm taking this medicine, prednisone, and I wake up and I need to take it that night. And I take it, and then I immediately throw it up. But it had been in my system for an hour, and so the doctor was like, no, you can't take any more. Like, it's in your system. You can't take any more. But it does nothing. So it doesn't help me at all the first day. I'm like still dying over here. Just eating literally straight up mashed potatoes all day long. And like it like hurts. It's terrible. So Thursday night goes by. It's terrible. I can't eat. I take my prednisone. It's fine this time. Friday night comes. I'm crying all day. My throat hurts so bad. I'm to the point where I can barely swallow, barely eat. My mom calls the doctor again and is like, is this okay? Like, she is not doing well. And they're like, no, it's just mono. She's fine. She'll be fine. Like, she'll get better. And my mom's like, okay. And she's like freaking out. My mom has this big paranoia. She always wants to do like the very best. She wants to be very proactive. My brother has had a surgery in his lifetime that my mom thinks is her fault because she waited too long to take him to the doctor. So she's like, I don't want that to be you, you know. She's like, I don't want this to be my fault. Like, I want you to get the help that you need if it's that bad, you know. I don't want to wait. I'm like, I totally get you. So Friday night, then Saturday, I wake up feeling, you know, worse than ever. Literally the worst. I'm like, it's been 6 days and I'm only getting worse. How is this possible? So Saturday, I live through the day, and Saturday night comes, and I figure out that if I put a heating pad around my neck, I can make the pain go away long enough that I can fall asleep, because I wasn't sleeping. And so I'm laying there with this heating pad, I'm like, I finally fall asleep Saturday night. But then I wake up Saturday night, choking on my own spit, absolutely dying. Like, I start seeing black spots in my vision. I can barely hold myself up with my legs. I walk out into the hallway. I'm like, I like almost can't breathe. My mom comes out, she's like, are you okay? I was like, look at my throat. My tonsils were swelled up. You couldn't even see the opening anymore. The roof of my mouth was starting to swell down. My throat had swelled up bigger than my jaw. It was terrible. My mom's like, we are going to the ER. I'm like, okay. But also this one, I couldn't talk. my tongue, it would move. I couldn't talk. It sounded like I was underwater. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. So we drive to the ER, and my dad is going like 100 down the highway. I'm like sitting there, literally like, I'm like focusing on surviving. I'm like I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. If I die in the car, like, this is all worth nothing. I'm like literally focusing on like every breath. Every time I like didn't even swallow that whole drive. I'm like, because if I swallowed, I would like. So I was like, we get there. They're like, my mom comes in. My mom's like, she has mono. She has trouble breathing. And they're like, okay. And like, I like go into the waiting room, wait there for like 5 minutes. They immediately take me. They're like 30 other people. I get in there, I like sit down. He's like, okay, what's wrong? My mom's like, she has mono. Her throat is huge. Like, she can't breathe. This is what's wrong. Like, something's wrong. He's like, okay, let me look in your throat. He looks in my throat. He's like, yeah, you got an abscess in there. And I'm like, oh, what? They're like, yeah, we're gonna have to drain it. Okay, also, this is where I draw the trigger warning. I am going to be talking about blood and needles and, hospital things, possible blades. So if you are triggered by anything that is like that, I'm going to be talking about it right now, about my ER visit. So just a warning for anyone who doesn't like stuff like that, because I'm going to be talking about it. Okay, my little asmrlings. Okay, don't be scared though, it's not that bad. But I get there, they're like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna put you on a lot of medicine. We're gonna get you a throat doctor, and just sit tight. So I'm sitting in this hospital bed for probably a good 45 minutes. Finally a nurse comes in. I'm like laying there like, actually I think I'm gonna die. She comes in, she's like, okay, I'm here for your IV. I was like, finally. She gets my IV in, and she starts to hang. I think it's called I don't know, starts with a D. She was like, these are big boy medicine. Like, this is big boy medicine. I'm like, give me the big boy medicine. I'm gonna die, lady. So she hangs this stuff. My throat, after 15 minutes, immediately I start to feel like it's opening up. Like, I'm feeling better already. I'm like, thank God, because I was not having it. And so I'm there with my mom. It's like 12 a.m. at this point. It's Sunday morning, 12 a.m. And, I'm just sitting there with the IV. And they decide to move my hospital bed, so they're like moving me around. I'm like walking on the floor. I'm like, this is real life Grey's Anatomy. I'm like looking, I'm like, man, I wonder what he does. I'm like, man, what's his role? Like, it was kind of funny. But then I'm like rolling through my bed, like, and the other doctors are like, I'm like, anyway, so they get me into another room, and every like 30 minutes they come in and hang a different type of like IV bag, and I'm just getting all this medicine. Like, I'm getting anti-inflammatories, anti-pain meds, like antibiotics, just like everything. They're getting my throat swelling down and the pain down, and I finally start to be able to talk. I'm feeling way better. The pain that doesn't hurt as much to swallow. I'm like, I'm feeling way better. Like, thank the Lord that I'm feeling better. Like, I was just happy that it was starting to feel better, because I didn't want to feel bad anymore. And the doctors are coming in. They're taking my blood, testing me for mono and other infections. They take a throat swab. They go and they have me do a CT, and oh my gosh, they like put the stuff in your CTs like it's gonna feel like you're peeing. I'm like, what? like the next week and try to get rid of it that way. We're like, okay, good solution. Sounds great. So we're sitting in the bed. It's like 7 a.m. at this point, and a guy comes in with a tray of food. A tray of food, bro. Yes, and I can't eat yet because my throat is still too big to swallow. And but I did ask the nurse for Jello and vanilla pudding. Guys, I got Jello and vanilla pudding. And so she brought in my vanilla pudding and apple juice and Jello. And this guy brings in this breakfast platter. I'm like, this is great. And so I give my mom the breakfast platter. It's pancakes, eggs, and grits, and then like milk and syrup and stuff. So I'm like, Mom, you can have that, because my mom's been there too. Like, she's hungry. We've been there for 7 hours. So I start eating my vanilla pudding. I'm like, this tastes delicious, because it was really good vanilla pudding. And so, but then I had a bite of egg, and it was like bad egg. And then I had a bite of pancake. It tasted like Play-Doh. The grits just tasted like wheat. It was like bad. But that was fun. And I was like, I'm gonna try to milk this place for all the food I can get. And my mom spies the hospital socks in this little basket, so she walks up and she yoinks some hospital socks. I put them on. That's a highlight of my hospital trip right there. But yeah, so I'm basically just laying in this bed. I fall asleep for 2 hours. Like, my body like shut down. Like, I was like, time to sleep, because I could finally breathe comfortably enough to where I was asleep. So my body was like, it's time. So I fell asleep, and I slept for a good 2 hours, and the nurses kept coming in and checking on me and everything. But then finally the ENT comes. Oh, no, guys, wait. At like 11, I'm on the phone with my boyfriend. I'm like talking to him, and I get a call on my little hospital bed phone. I'm like, who could this be? I answer it. It's the lunch lady. She's like, what do you want for lunch? I'm like, for lunch. And so I'm like, what do you got? She's like naming all this meat and stuff, and I don't eat meat, so I'm just like, okay, I don't want meat. She was like, I can give you a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I was like, yes. And then she was like, okay, do you want potato wedges, mac and cheese? I was like, mac and cheese. Give me the mac and cheese. I need mac and cheese. So she's like, okay, mac and cheese. And then I asked for like broccoli and tea. And she's like, okay. But then the ENT comes, and he's like, how you doing? I'm like, good. I ordered mac and cheese for lunch. He was like, okay, Queenie, go off. But he was like, you pretty excited about that? I was like, yeah, because my throat was finally starting to go down to the point where I knew I would be able to swallow mac and cheese, soft foods. But he looks at my throat. He's like, yeah, we could get rid of the abscess, or we could not. It's up to you. I was like, okay. And he's like, we're just gonna numb it and like cut it open and drain it right on the spot right here. And I was like, is it gonna hurt? And he was like, well, we're gonna numb it. The numbing part is gonna hurt, but like, that's it. And I was like, do it. Because I was so freaking sick and tired of like feeling bad. I was like, if this is gonna help me feel better, like, I'm gonna do it, So he's like, okay, yeah, we do it right now. I'm like, okay. So he comes in with this needle and has like the numbing stuff in it, and he opens my mouth and he starts sticking this stuff in there and numbing all of my mouth. I'm like, oh. I was a trooper though. I did it, and he put that stuff in, and then he pulls out a freaking literally like a 10 blade, just like a knife 10 blade, and he's like, okay, and just literally just like sticks it in there, just like cuts down the side like an inch long. It just starts bleeding. I'm like, so he hands me this sucker that I'm supposed to just like hold in my mouth, and there's just literally just blood streaming out of this thing. It was pretty crazy. I was like white as a ghost, literally sitting there. I was just like, but yeah, so he did that, and eventually I rinsed it out enough, and we cleaned it all out, and he said it would be okay. And my dad came, gave me my squishmallow. I was really sad because we drove to the hospital. I had my squishmallow. My mom made me leave it in the car. What a loser. But yeah, but my dad brought my squishmallow, and we sat there for probably another hour, and my mac and cheese came. I ate prednisone again. So I had 2 different medicines to go home with. And then I got admitted or discharged and we left. I came home. I slept for like 4 hours. But so then Monday, I felt good. I was feeling way better. I was eating mac and cheese and soup like every day. Like it was getting kind of repetitive. I was like, I'm done with this. But I also got pudding and everything. But yeah. But I got better. It is now Saturday. So it has been 6 days since I've been to the hospital. I am feeling much better. Much better. I still kind of at like 4 o'clock, my brain like crashes. I like get so tired. But my mom took me back to school, so I am back on campus. I had been doing all of my homework from home. I am actually not behind on any homework. I am like, I've turned in everything. I've basically just, I've been doing everything at home. It's been going fine. So that's really nice. I watched Squid Games. I'm on like episode 5 or something. That was really cool. My mom and I are watching season 41 of Survivor, the new season. I like Evie. She's great. Who else do I like? I kind of like DJ. Or is it JD? I don't know. I kind of like that guy. And I like, who's the guy? Like the guy with the gray hair. He's gay. What is his name? I forget, but I like him. We're watching season 4 of Top Chef that has Richard on it. We love Richard. I was like, we need to watch Richard's season. So we started watching that. And what else did I do? I ate a lot of mac and cheese. I was vibing with that mac and cheese. Also the funny part about this. So nobody else that I've known has been sick yet, but my boyfriend. He has tested positive for mono. And I don't know how I got mono, but it wasn't from him. And, it's called the kissing disease, but I didn't kiss anybody else. You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't get it from him. We think that I may have gotten it from the boardwalk. I don't really know how I got it, but I gave it to him. I gave it to him. He has it. And he's feeling a little sick, but none of my other friends are feeling sick. My mom is feeling a little sick. She got tested. So, she's gonna know if she has it soon. With some hair in here. But, yeah, that is where I have been. I was just deathly ill. Literally the worst sickness I've ever had. Plus the freaking abscess. And they said I had a secondary bacterial infection that caused the abscess and like the extra swelling. I was like, jeez. I hope to never feel like that again. I am still taking medicine and stuff. But that's where I've been. But actually taking this kind of 2-week break was kind of nice in the end, because I was like kind of running out of ideas to film. Like I was just like waiting on some packages and stuff to get here. Oh my god, guys, while I was sick, I bought so much crap offline, like so much stuff on the internet. I placed like 7 orders. Like it's bad. I spent a lot of money, but I have a bunch of cool videos coming up for you guys. Like Monday, I'm gonna be posting my Gel Online by Aaron Spa video, which I'm super excited about. I bought the ColourPop Bambi collection, so I'm gonna be unboxing that, and then I'm also probably going to do a separate video doing my makeup with it and doing your makeup, since you guys like videos like that. I have a couple role plays planned that I want to do. I'm probably gonna do a shopping haul. Like I'm really excited for the next videos that I'm gonna be making, because it was like a break that sparked a lot of creativity in my brain. Like I had a lot of time to think about video ideas. So I'm excited, but I'm literally so excited to be back filming. Like I want to put out so much content for you guys. Also, I would like to announce that I have made an Amazon wish list. So if anyone out there would like to support me in ways that, is more than just watching a video, because I don't have a Patreon and I don't have a PO box. So I was like, well, and I don't have like merch or anything. So I was like, well, if anyone wants to like support me in a way that's more than just my videos, you know, they can like look at my Amazon wishlist, and you don't have to feel pressured to buy anything off that. It's just like if you like want to, you know. So the link is gonna be in the description. I'm pretty sure you just like buy, or if like there's something there, you add it to your cart and buy it. And I think there'll be an option to click Madison Dicely's gift address. You just click that and then it'll come up, and I will of course feature your items on TikTok and in YouTube videos. I'll be having all those items in YouTube videos. It's just a bunch of stuff, like there's a cool glittery microphone cover, and a fluffy mic cover, and a bunch of fidgets. There's a bunch of stuff for role plays too, like some wigs and costumes for like role plays. And there's also a bunch of stuff that's just like stuff that I would like personally. So, there's like also some cool nail tips, like ring nails. So, if anyone's interested in that, you can go look. No pressure. Like, I expect nothing, but like if you want to, you know what I mean. But yeah, that is where I've been. I cannot wait to be back and to keep filming for you guys. Like, I have deeply, deeply, deeply missed you, and I think that you have deeply missed me too. But I will be back with another video on Monday. I love you guys so much. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for staying with me and being patient while I was deadly